When I first heard Bandwagon and the performances around it, it was at a street corner in Brooklyn. I cried. That's all I can say. I wept to hear live music again, to see the great players of the New York Philharmonic be able to do what their lives were spent preparing to do and what they've missed so much, and to see the effect that had on people. I will never forget it.
I was on the phone with Deborah Borda, the president and CEO of the New York Philharmonic, and I said, I've got a crazy idea, and it's probably a bad idea, and maybe not that original, but what if we put musicians on a pickup truck? And we went all throughout New York to the 5 boroughs, and it was a way to reinvent the concert-going ritual. I really feel like Bandwagon builds on the New York Philharmonic legacy. I think back to Leonard Bernstein doing the young people's concerts. I think to the concerts in the park that they've done forever and ever, and even Fill the Hall more recently. This is an initiative which takes all of those kind of values to a new level in a way. I mean, we've never gone this far outside of the concert hall to be in a pickup truck.
Look, the arts do two things in my mind which just matter so much right now, which is they help us understand ourselves, and most importantly, they help us understand each other. And we're a world where we can feel the civic fabric ripping, right? You feel it every day online, you feel it in person, you feel it in the street sometimes. And that has to be repaired. And one way we can repair it is by using the arts to help reach across boundaries.
What Bandwagon reminded me is that music is a communication above all, and I was missing that. Over the 8 weeks, I saw every range of human emotion. I saw kids applauding for the first time from their strollers, people dancing in the street, people breaking down and crying. And so it has felt like this has been a way to heal. Music is the way that we can communicate human emotion. And I was thinking about some of the terrible events that have happened in our country over the past month or 2 months. And I thought of this song that ends with the words, "Remember me, but forget my fate." And those words were particularly powerful in light of a shooting. And this man stood up and came closer to the music as I said this. And as it continued playing, he closed his eyes and he stood in the middle of this busy New York street. And he stood like that for 4 minutes. And looking at that as I sang, it was so moving. And I felt more connected than ever, not only with what I do, but with New York City.
My daddy passed away of COVID in,
What's your mission?
I'm sorry, in July. And these concerts that you've had here help me breathe.
And this dialogue that we can have is really meaningful. It is, in a way, I think, empathy.
It was one of the highlights of the entire pandemic. And it is absolutely clear that music in the parks, music in the city, all those amazing opportunities for the public to hear this incredible music, that is what the New York Philharmonic is made of.
That's why we do this, right? I mean, we do this because we want to communicate, we want to touch people, and it's so great to see their faces because that gives us something back. I mean, as a performer and a player, you feed off that. So feel people actually listening to us and hearing us and giving us something back. That's what it's all about.
What Bandwagon has enabled us to do is to bring ourselves to people in an entirely different way, to be nimble, to make new friends, to make new collaborations.
We had to acknowledge as we did this that we were going to make mistakes, and we did make mistakes, and that was important because this whole thing is not about us presenting some perfect spectacle. It's about us learning. It's about taking the first step on the road to creating a new future, which is what we have to do right now. I've seen how it can affect people, and it's been almost like a litmus test in that it proves the power of music to connect people.
And I think the Philharmonic has set such an example of, in times like these, there's two options, right? One is you can say the sky is falling and you can retreat. The other one is you can just say onwards. And after 178 years, this is something to be very proud of.
I'd like to think that we're constantly reimagining and reinventing who we are, and that's why we keep on going.
To hear live music again, to have that brought into your community That and the magic of it being this spontaneous thing. You're taking a walk, you're going to the store, you're going wherever, and suddenly just to have that spark of magic, to hear live music again on a street corner, it's magical.